and how all this, you got to understand, people, that if you're not an action taker and you're not somebody who wants to elevate to the next level and make it to the next level, you're going to still be stuck in the same exact mindset, the same exact routines and stuff that you do. Uh, the system is kind of set up that way, right? They put all these things out there that distract us from actually elevating to what our true potential is, right? We get distracted with the sports, and we get distracted with the alcohol, we get distracted with the weed, we get distracted with, the clubs, the parties, and all kinds of things that really don't benefit us, or they really don't, help us as a person, as an individual, to bring wealth, or to bring, you know, any type of advancement to our family. Social media along with it, right? When you get on the phone and you start scrolling, and you're not scrolling to either learn something or make money off of something, then you're wasting your time scrolling, right? So we need to figure out ways to we need to figure out ways to elevate, and ways to make money, and we need to be able to put ourselves in different rooms, and network with different people who can be impactful to us. If you follow me on Instagram, right, at official Trevor Calais, you'll see these. I post stories about this kind of stuff. I'm super transparent on Instagram. I tell you like it is, and I don't give a shit, right? I make sure that you guys know that the system is jacked up, right? The system is built for you to do that kind of stuff. That's why all those kind of distractions are out there. They don't want you to be at the top. They don't want you to know credit. That's why they don't teach it. They don't want you to know how to be your own boss. That's why they don't teach it, right? They don't teach us the things that we should know, because obviously they want to stay at the top and want us to continue to pay them and owe them and things like that, right? So on my Instagram, I really tell you guys like what it's truly about. And it's truly about picking a path, doing something that you feel happy about doing, and going all in on that, especially if it produces income, right? So, I want that's why we, I tell you guys time and time again, that's why we created this, right? That's why we made this journey achievable for a lot of people. Whether you move forward with us on a DIY purchase, or maybe course materials, or just, your budget can't fit the done for you stuff, or if you come for done for you and things like that, we like to make sure that we can bring wealth, and we can bring knowledge, and we can bring financial literacy and things like that to you guys, so that you can elevate, so that you can make it to the next level. We don't gatekeep information. When we figure stuff out, when we find stuff out, we pass the information along to you guys, because there's a lot of people in the space, right? There's a lot of mentors. Dom isn't on this call, but he spent money. He spent money with mentors, bro, and a lot of them aren't good, right? A lot of them just want your money. A lot of them don't truly care about, the impact that they can be on your life, right? Like, I'm not saying everything is going to be perfect. There's going to be people that fail in the business, right? People aren't going to do good. People aren't going to do what they're supposed to do, or what they're taught, or anything like that. But our intentions is to make sure that you have all the information, you have all the tools, you have all the knowledge in every affiliate that we have, in order to be successful, to change your life, right? That's what we care about. That's the difference between Let's Go Hustle and a lot of other online gurus, influencers, or things like that. If um and if you guys can just understand that, right? And just understand what our mission here is, and if you actually care about your neighbor, you care about your friend, you care about your family member, you invite them to the community, right? You refer people here. You tell people about what you got, or else you're being a gatekeeper. You're holding information. You're not wanting the next person to elevate, right? So sharing our community, you go to the member section in Skool, you're sharing our community with people that you actually care about escaping the rat race and leaving the 9 to 5 is what it's truly about, right? I don't give a shit about a job. And if everybody was taking advantage of all the tools and everything that we make accessible, you wouldn't give a shit about a job either. I'm telling you guys right now, punching a clock is not what anybody's built for, and that's not what we should be doing. Trading time for money is the biggest scam. It's the biggest hustle in society, right? Like we're indoctrinated to that from a child, right? They teach us how to go to school. You're in school for 8 hours a day, right? And then you're in a classroom, four walls around you, maybe a couple windows. You're in there for 8 hours a day, and then you're in line. You're walking. that shit's kind of like prison, right? It's just like jail. Then you're going to the lunch and they're slapping the food on your plate, and then you're going to sit down, and then you like that. They want you to be like robots in a sense, right? And I know you guys may see this kind of stuff on your algorithm. If you're following me, then hopefully your algorithm is getting clean right now with like entrepreneurship and business ownership, right? And if you don't know how to fix your algorithm, that's how you do it. Stop looking at the dumb shit. Stop looking at stuff that's not elevating you. Stop looking at stuff that's toxic, right? Who gives a shit about what's going on with Cardi B and Offset? Who gives a shit about any of that kind of stuff? That does nothing for you but distract you. It does nothing for you to help you to the next level. I don't care about any of that kind of stuff, right? I care about what I can do for my family, right? And if you clean your algorithm up and you search people that are good, like impactful people that can teach you things, search up credit gurus, search up, Turo people like myself, search up wealth people, search up anything and like that stuff, anything beneficial, right? And like it and comment on it and start engaging with it. And then you'll clean your algorithm out. Because I'm telling you, this phone is super distracting. And if you start liking stuff and engaging on stuff, that's all you're going to see. And if this takes your time, you don't have any time to start a business. You don't have time to grow and scale a business. You're only going to have time for this and that job. So, that's just a little bit of free game. Like I said, I like to come in here and make sure that I'm preaching like real stuff, right? And there's going to be people that when I speak at events and when I speak to, certain groups of people or on a podcast, or some people, they're lost and they're like, oh, why would he shit on a 9 to 5? No, they think that the 9 to 5 is the best thing out. And it's really not. Like, it's really not. You're never going to be top dog. You're never going to get what you're worth. Yeah, I mean, how many times have you been in a 9 to 5 and asked for a raise and they give you some bullshit excuse, or we're going through changes and advancements, or we can't afford it now, but maybe next year, and then that next year comes around and you get like a 72-cent raise. Like, that's what they're going to continue to keep doing. But if that's all you think like, damn, I got that 75-cent raise, I'm good. Like, come on, bro, 75 cents, that's what you feel you're worth. You know what I mean? Like, so you just got to get out of that mindset. And the more you come to these calls, the more you clean up your algorithm, the more you're around people that can be a positive influence to you, you are going to win. Shift all negativity out of your life. If you got to move away from family, you're starting a business and they're shitting on your dreams and they're shitting on your passion, move away from them, cut them off, because that's the shit that keeps people back. When they have negative energy around them and people that don't believe in them and what they can do and how they can be impactful, because they haven't done it. So they don't know. That's why they're not hating. They just don't know. So they're calling you fucking crazy, right? We're not doing that. So yeah, I just wanted to ponder on that a little bit. I wanted you guys to kind of pick my brain a little bit about, how I look at life, what I do. And I practice what I preach, right? I don't tell you guys anything that I wouldn't do myself, because then I'm not being a good mentor, right? I'm not being a person that actually cares about my people, right? I'm not giving you guys the incorrect information or the wrong guidance. I'm telling you guys how it is, and all you have to do is implement it. And let me change your life. You know what I mean? I'll change mine. You guys can do it too. But yeah, man, I'm sorry to go on a rant. You know what I mean? I just wanted to drop some gems, you know what I mean? Some tips and shit like that, some nuggets. Make sure that you guys feel valuable. You catch some value from this, right? But y'all can hit me with the Q&A. Let me know if you got anything when it comes to, credit. I'll answer anything, right? Credit, funding, capital, LLCs, Turo, private rental, rent to own, whatever it may be. You guys can come off mute, raise your hand, and we'll get them answered. Before we get into that, Miss Nieves, is that how you say it? Miss Heads? Is Miss Heads better?
You can say Nieves. It's Spanish.
Miss Nieves, yeah, we got all your stuff squared away and situated. Make sure you do change your, I think that was you that joined. Make sure you do change your display name and Discord to your first and last name, and we'll get you onboarded tomorrow. I'm glad we could figure out a way to make this work for you and level your next, level you up. You've been an action taker since you joined the community. You've been in communication. So I know this is something that you truly want, and I'm ready to take you to that next level.
Yeah. So I before everyone else talk, can I just get myself out the way since we're on me?
You say that again, because it kind of cut out.
I said, since you're talking to me, can I get my questions and everything out the way?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and ask.
Okay, so yeah, definitely. When I discovered you on YouTube, I just seen something different with wanting to teach people and just business wise, the business mindset. So that's kind of what caught me. When you were talking, I'm like, oh yeah, he knows his stuff and he definitely have a business mindset like myself. The only thing that I'm missing is like the opportunity. So I'm at the point where I have that mindset. So that's why it was easy for me to spend my money. I don't know if that
Right.
makes sense, but that's why it was so easy for me to do that. And even speaking with Michelle. So my only question is like as far as the Turo done for you, what is the difference with that as opposed to like having the fleet?
You mean as in like the mentorship done for you and the fleet build out?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The only difference in those two packages, right, is the one comes with the higher funding, right? So you get higher funding within that package.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously the vehicle purchase process made easy. You don't have to, you tell him what kind of vehicles, he makes that process easy. So it's not a lot of going down to the dealerships and trying to leverage your way and find the best deal on the cars or whatever it may be. Like he's gonna streamline that for you. You tell him you want three economies, you want one luxury and one sport, or you tell him you want all economy, or you kind of pick his brain. He's going to send you stuff. How do you feel about this? This is the monthly. Like he's going to work hand in hand with you to make sure you get your fleet built out, and then he's going to ship those vehicles to you. So the capital, so the funding that you're going to get in that package and that process, that's what the difference is. You're still going to get access to capital in this one over here, but the fleet portion is going to be a little bit like you're going to kind of have to do that on your own. And I got material in there that tells you how to go to the dealership and how to hold the power and the leverage in the dealership. It's just the part about reaching out and having him do it for you that is the difference.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted that package, but due to my finances, I got the other package. But once I'm done with like the credit repair and I get the funding or whatever for the Warrior package, it's okay to go in and get the rest of the Champion package, right?
100%. So yeah, like a lot of people can't leverage it like that. They might leverage getting the warrior first, using that capital to come and back door and get the champion. And you would only pay the difference, right? We're not going to charge you another full price. We're going to take what you already paid and deduct it from here, and that's all you would owe. You know what I mean? And then because I have people who start out with, warrior and champion, and then they move up. They move up to they're making 20,000 a month, 30,000 a month, but they want to go now. They done grew their business. Now they have they're off of Turo, right? Turo got them
Mm-hmm.
started and going, and and then they were able to build their private rental business. Now they got a private rental business, and they want to make it 150, 200K a month. So then they shoot to the legendary package, and you're able to do that kind of stuff, and that's why I have them built that way.
Right. So, and then I have repeat customers already with my vehicles that I have on there. I have repeat customers, so one day I can possibly get into private rental. But okay, so that's my plan. My plan is to capitalize from the warrior to the champion, and because I really need the help with the fleet. I really need the help with the getting the cars, and then with me doing a warrior package, my credit will already be fixed. So doing the champion, it'll be like a quicker process, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's gonna be a lot, it's gonna be really streamlined because you're already gonna by the time you get funded on that warrior package, everything is already in line for you. You just take the funding and say, hey, I want to upgrade this, and then boom, then we go get more funding for you,
Right.
and we give you the dealer connect. That's the play. That's
Right.
always the play.
Right. So the warrior package, I need to. So I already have an LLC. So is that good for the warrior package?
It just depends on how that LLC is structured. In that warrior package, you're going to be able to go to that course material and make sure that yours is structured the right way. We don't care about, there was some confusion in the community about like someone was like, oh well, this state it's only this price, and all. I don't give it, the state doesn't matter. It's how you structure the LLC. It matters on the name, the entity, which is the job identifier, right? The job. And what was I talking about? The job identifier, the name. Oh, and the
The
address. Right?
address.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the address. So that's all that matters. It don't matter if you get a Japanese LLC. You know what I mean? Like it don't matter.
Hmm.
The location doesn't matter.
So
We use Wyoming because it's faster and it's cheaper.
with me having an Illinois LLC, I might need to go buy another one with the
Uh,
package I got.
Did you do all that stuff correctly? Like, do you have a registered agent's address and then what's the name and stuff like that? Like, you have to look at that to see if yours is already good, you could keep that one. It's solid. But if it's not the right way, like if it's transportation and things like that, you don't. It ain't gonna be no good.
Well, it's consulting, but the only thing is the address. So I have a registered agent, but I didn't use the registered agent's address. I used the iPostal address.
Yeah, I would definitely get another one.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm gonna look at more when I get all the information once you get me in. So that's all I have for you, Trevor. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am, Miss Nieves. Nieves, right?
Nieves. Yep.
All right, Nieves, got it. Cool, appreciate
Get
it.
used to saying that because I'm gonna be around.
Hey, we up here. I got you. We up. You already know you're gonna see the difference in what the community has to offer, which is still great. There's a lot of great stuff in the community compared to be like we working hand in hand. It's a lot different. You can kind of
Okay.
chill a little bit. Let us do our thing, and you can kind of relax, chill, focus on your business while we doing all this stuff in the background.
That's why I want the champion, but it's gonna be okay. I'm gonna upscale and I'm gonna get there. So thank
Yes,
you for
ma'am.
having this opportunity for us. I really appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am. 100%. Mr. Robert, go ahead, brother.
So I kind of want to get a better idea of how the financing works with the Dealer Connect and like how much can you get at once starting off? Like,
He'll get you. I mean, he'll get you whatever you want. You tell him you want 20 cars. He's gonna do his best to make it happen. So because how the system works, right? You're with the way we send, obviously it's a system. That's why everything it works out the right way. That's why when people be like, I don't listen to what the internet says. People hate on the internet, troll all the time. But when somebody in our community, or when somebody who's a student says, oh, it didn't work, it has to work. It's set up to work. So there was something wrong on that part. And then I usually investigate and I'm like, okay, you didn't even have this going, or you didn't do this, or you didn't do that. But it is set up that way. Your profile is going to be good. You're going to have capital. Now, I'm not saying you can get 20 off the rip and have no down payments. You're going to always have no down payments. But when you start going to extreme numbers, he can only do so much. So you might try to hit him with like, hey, I want 20. But he's like, you know what? I can probably get you 12 right now, all under the LLC. If you want, the other 8, I'm gonna need like 2 or 3 thousand down. He's gonna help you with that whole process, but you'd finance it just like if you were to go to the dealership and buy a car. Only difference is he's gonna get you approved for a whole lot at once, and it's gonna go under your business's LLC instead of your personal. And a lot of dealerships just won't do that, especially if they know they're gonna ask you at a dealership like, "Damn, why are you buying 5 cars?" And then you're gonna have to make something up to tell them my guy already knows the operation. We're not questioning shit. Our goal is to sell cars. We're pushing metal. That's what we do.
yeah, I'm actually thinking like 12 to 15 if I can. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think to be honest, you'll be solid. If you've had some debt on your profile, and when I say debt, it doesn't mean bad debt. Everybody think the word debt is bad. No. If you've owned cars before, right? Or you've owned houses and you have a good thick profile, 10, 20, 30 accounts, things like that, you're going to easily walk away with that 10, 15, 12, 15 cars or whatever. He's going to do his best to make it happen. That's what he does.
Awesome.
Yes, sir. Dom, what is up, brother? I see you just jumped in here. I was giving you a little shout out earlier talking about, man, he's usually on these calls. I was referencing about those other online mentors and gurus and how you went through some getting finessed before you found me and we made this happen. But welcome to the call, Dom. Anybody else? What questions we got?
What's good, Trevor? Is Grant.
What's going on, Grant? How you doing, brother?
Chilling, bro, chilling. So, to extend on that first girls, the like when you're getting a bunch of cars and all of that going, do you need like a certain personal credit score or like you were talking about the LLC house has to be structured a certain way, but personal credit, anything other like requirements before you can even get a jump like that going?
Um, so when you look at we're not ever focused on the score, right? How'd you hear about us? Did you come from social media, Allegiant, or?
I've been in the community for a little bit. I just been popping around though. Like I got a bunch of
Oh,
other stuff that I'd be doing, but
okay,
um,
okay, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So if you when you hop in,
Mostly the Turo though. It had to do with Turo though, for sure.
okay, yeah, that's cool. As long as we were on the same topic, same subject.
Yeah.
But we don't really want to focus on the score, right? A lot of people get caught up in that score, and they're like, okay, if I have this score, I can go get what I want and things like that. But the lenders actually don't look at the score. They don't care about the score. They care about the profile. So as long as you have a good profile, we like 100% payment history, right? A lender doesn't like you to see, they don't like to see 99, 98. That means you have late payments, right? Long as you have that, long as you have low inquiries, don't look thirsty to the bureaus. We need at least 3 or less inquiries. You got at least 10 or more accounts. Your usage is down, things like that. If all the data points on that credit profile are hit and they're met, that's what makes you lender favorable. So that then you can leverage things like leveraging. When you have a profile like that, you can leverage your LLC and the bank will take the risk at letting you purchase those vehicles on the LLC due to how the profile looks.
All right, yeah, let's move. Let's move. All right, I got another question too.
Mhm.
So a big thing that like interests me with your guys' program was that you had like I forgot exactly what it was called, but you had a way to set up cars in like different states, and you would have runners come and take care of stuff or
Mhm.
something like to keep it like completely passive.
Mhm.
You could just touch up on that, like how it works or whatever you could like give me on that.
Yeah,
How?
so I got partnerships with multiple people in different states, right? Like, and I'm not gonna say I got the whole nation. Obviously, I don't have the whole nation until I meet more people like you guys, more hosts that are like, if Dom's in North Carolina and Bo's in Texas, and all these people are scattered around, and I'm like, hey, bro, I got about 3 cars. You need more fleet? You could take these. Boom, boom, boom. Just pay my note, or vice versa. That's what this community is for, so we can network and we can all make money together, and nobody's left with something that they can't handle. But it comes through the affiliations that I've met along the way. So I got a dude named YJ out of Las Vegas. He's got like 180 cars, bro. So he can
Yeah.
take, and he constantly takes vehicles. He moves them back and forth, back and forth. Like he'll private rent, sell some, grab more, grab more. So I try to always tell my clients that there's a possible exit if you were done with the business, didn't like it, and didn't want to do it no more. But I got affiliates from Vegas, Texas, Louisiana, North Carolina, actually. And that just comes from networking and doing business with people and telling them what your business is and your brand. Friends, you can have friends back home that are like, hey man, you want to explain the business model. Hey man, you can make some extra money doing this. Look, all I need is 500 a month. That's what that car note is. Host it on Teach them, hosted on Turo. You could do this. You could keep all the profits. Does that sound like something you want to do? Boom, boom, boom. People
Mm.
sometimes will see it as helping them out. You know what I mean? Like, damn, they might know about Turo already. So you go off people that you trust. That's how you delegate it. You don't ever delegate it to just someone you don't know, that you haven't built any type of rapport with, right? That you
Right.
don't know how they are. You can use family members and things like that. They're going to see the money, so they're going to want to do it anyway. And then automating, if you automate it, it still makes about 95% passive. So when you do become a student of mine, right, a mentee within my mentorship materials, right, that 10K in 60 days Turo power play, in there's an automation section. I go over every automation that I have, what I do,
Right.
to automate it. And to me,
Like
that,
text messages, bookings, and all that.
yeah,
Like, all right, yeah.
yep, how they go out, how the times that those automations go out and things like that. Yeah, and it's super. It made it passive as fuck for me. It was like literally 95% passive. All I had to do was like airport deliveries and drop offs and check-ins and checkouts. And when I paid a runner to do that shit for me, then I didn't have to do nothing. And all
Yeah,
I did with the runner, because he was a family member, is just I gave him a car. I was like, hey, here's your car. You ain't got a car note. What car do you want in the fleet? He picked one out. I was like, that's yours. Don't mess it up. Put it on your insurance. You pay the insurance, but the car is yours. But I
for
need you
sure.
to make sure my trips get out, the
Facts, facts,
drop
facts.
off and deliveries, and I need to make sure you do the check in and check outs. He did it. So
For sure. All right, nah, yeah, that sounds dope.
yeah, leverage, man. Think about any type of leverage that you have. If you're in a business and you have a service for a business, man, think about you always want to use your leverage. You got vehicles and say they're exotic vehicles or something, or some fire ass sports cars, and you're like, this person has a big following or has a good business. Like, hey man, you can take my car for the weekend, bro. Just give me $100. Go, I got your logo might be on the car. Take it. There's 1,000 people in that area. Take it. You know what I mean? Or whatever you want. But like,
Facts.
guys got to think about leverage when you have it. Leverage your credit, leverage your score, like your profile, leverage the amount of capital that you get for other, like to make partnerships. And that's what I did. Do business with people. People are big on doing business. A lot of people won't trust you or even think that you're serious or fuck with you unless you spend with them. I got people in my Instagram inbox all day long. Can I do this for you? Can I do that? Can I do this? But they all want free shit.
Facts.
I just can't do that. A person that wants shit for free, to me, it's not about you being a mooch or a freeloader. It's like, just the fact that I don't trust you if you want shit for free. I don't trust some shit that you're not going to work for and hustle for. Like I've never gotten anything for free. If people try to give me shit free, I try to figure out how I can help them, pay them, or do something in return. I don't want
Yeah.
shit for free. People don't appreciate free shit.
Yeah. Feel you.
Yep, yep. Who else we
Appreciate
got? Yes, sir. Appreciate the question, Grant. Good shit. Who else we got? What we got? Anything. Credit. Let's go. Credit funding, processes.
Actually, I got a question if you don't mind me.
Go ahead, Carter.
Yeah, what's up, man? So I mean, it's a couple of things. So one win, I don't know if you're doing the wins or whatever in the beginning of the call, but
Yeah.
I did acquire an asset this past week. You know what I mean? A little Tesla or whatever,
Okay.
and so like I'm not gonna lie, like for right now, the Tesla, this acquiring this car wasn't really supposed to be like the official launch or soft launch of my business, but it's
Mhm.
because I'm in a mixed situation right now because like I'm moving and stuff like that. I'm in a new spot, a new area. You know, I see that it has the ability to have a good market and stuff like that for whatever I try to put out there in the market. But you know, I don't have my actual personal car on me, so I bought this car in a sense of like a business type of situation to get me to A to B. And but I definitely was thinking a strategy like, hey, you know, for every weekend I'm like not using this car or I don't care to use this car, and you know, I plan to just put it out there in the market.
Yeah,
You get what I'm
100%.
saying? And so that's what I was thinking about doing. And I guess you could let me know if that would be a smart play, or did I just like fuck up by not like going all in?
No,
Excuse
I
my
mean,
language.
sometimes one is okay. But if you would have got like more than one and not like say you went and got three, but you actually wanted seven for your business, that would be the fuck up, right?
Hmm.
The fact that you only got one, you'll still be okay because my guy can probably get you more cars. Just remember when you do get new debt and shit, like you're gonna go into credit garden. So that's like a 6 month hold. But with you not getting that much debt, right? I think you'll be okay. But
Hmm.
in 100%, I would rent it out on the weekends. Did you get gap insurance and everything?
So as a the gap insurance situation was another tricky situation for me because you know I know the dealership asks you, hey, you want to do a gap insurance with us, cool, but I know like I could get gap insurance from other companies if I wanted to, right? Because I mean I did my research a little bit. It said that like you don't have to get gap insurance with your with like the vehicle's insurance, and you can get it from somewhere else. You could shop around or whatever, right?
Mhm.
But then again, I was like questioning myself: do I really need the gap insurance unless I'm like getting a bunch of cars, or if it's just one car on my name? You get what I'm saying? Like, if you could kind of help me figure that situation out with the gap insurance and no gap insurance, because whatever. Yeah.
I would definitely get gap insurance on every single vehicle because you got to understand that if somebody goes, even on a weekend, it don't matter if you're
Mm-hmm.
only doing it on a weekend. If someone
Mm-hmm.
wrecks your car and fucks your shit up, bro, you're gonna have, when you drive a car off the lot, it's gonna depreciate. It's a vehicle. That's what it does. So if you get gap insurance to protect that, at least you have a chance. As long as no shady business is going on, at least you have a chance to get that vehicle fully covered if something does happen. So if you do wreck it, you file it on your insurance, you get them, and Gap kicks in and covers the rest. It's better to not mention renting it out and things like that as much as possible. Some of my friends just say their family member was using it or whatever, or their mom or their sister, and Gap is like okay with it. It really depends on the company, the where you're getting the Gap from, right? I
Mm-hmm.
always use the dealership Gap as long as it ain't too high. But if it's a business and I'm generating revenue from it, who gives a fuck? I'm not gonna pay it because the business is paying, like a client is paying for it. So when I'm at the dealership, if they're anything more than like, and even this is high, but if they're more than like 800 for the gap insurance, um, being someone who's like unsure, I mean, I guess you could go shop around because I've heard you can get it from banks and other insurance companies for like 6, 5, and 4. But I usually just use the dealer, bro. I usually just use the gap insurance, have it roll them into the loan. It doesn't matter. $800 for gap insurance. I mean, it's like $8. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like monthly broken down, or $18 or some shit. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah. Like usually it's like processing like a 6 month period, right? You got insurance for a 6 month period. It'll be like $1,000. You get gap insurance for say 800, whatever. Then like per month, it's looking like. I get that.
but it goes
Um,
over the whole duration of the loan though. You only pay for it in that time. Like that's the payments broken down.
oh, okay,
Yeah,
I get
you
what you're
only
saying.
pay for it that time, but it goes gap insurance does on mine, it's always goes for the entire loan. It's not like just 6 months of gap insurance.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then
Yeah,
certain
yeah,
dealers might have different shit, but my guy is gonna do it the right way.
yeah. I think I guess it just spooked me a little bit because I'm like, if somebody crashing my car, right, and like I'm not there on the scene, and it's just some random stranger, you know what I mean? Like in another sense, like how can I just go around and tell, the bank or my insurance company, like, oh, yeah, I crashed it.
You
You know what
tell
I'm saying?
I got like in one of my rules and guidelines on the, within my all of my listings and on the platform and stuff, it tells them to call, it tells the client, contact me immediately if there's an
First.
like an accident or something. So
Mm,
obviously if there's an injury, how I word it, it says if there's if somebody's seriously injured, contact 911 first, right? But
mm,
if it's none of that, they'll call me and you kind of guide them through the phone. If you can get to them, obviously you get to them, but you kind of guide them through the phone on what to say, like, hey, the Turo insurance, that should be the only insurance you have in the car anyway. Don't put your personal insurance card in the car because that's who they're
mm,
use the Turo insurance. And then you get with that client and you say, hey, look, tell them you get on the same page. I don't want to get on here and tell you guys some finessing stuff, but you see where I'm going with it.
I hear you. I
You
hear you. I
you
hear
get
you.
on the same page as the client, like obviously if it's too far, it's too far. But if you into, hey, I'm pulling up, da 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 da, or hey, you tell them this, you live with me, you're my brother, whatever you want to do. But that's how you solve that. You make sure they contact you. They can't try
Mm,
them as a client can't hide it from you. They got to be letting you know. You got to be in the know where you only have so much control.
right. Right. No, I hear you.
And
That's a
commercial,
that's a
commercial
that's a
ain't,
very masterful way to talk about leverage. I ain't gonna lie.
yeah, yeah, leverage. You know what I mean? You always leverage them up, bro. That's the best way.
Hmm. And then I guess and another thing is I'm not gonna lie. So I got a business bank account with Chase. I've been real cozy with Chase for since I don't know since I was 18. So like it was pretty easy to get a bank account with them, and I did get credit with them. But they've been bothering me about like getting more cards with them. Bit like fun, like I guess it's an opportunity for more funding. It's just that since my first card that they approved me for was less than likable for what I got, like funding wise, I'll say it was like 5,000. You know what I mean? So I almost don't want to move into this other funding, like get other cards with them if it's not like at least double or triple.
Yeah, and then obviously we've spoke about this. Like that's kind of like why we like to run the funding plays, like for you guys because we have those connections and those affiliates. I understand fees and I understood the situation. Right, we talked about this. We spoke about it.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
but that's the power in those. Chase usually they're probably not going to let you get more cards with them until one you've. It doesn't matter how long your relationship was with them. If that card's pretty new, you got to at least wait the 6 months, right?
Well,
But
no, no. They said that like I'm pre-approved and shit. Like I just got to put in my information. They're saying basically they kind of making me enticing me into doing the application. But I know a pre-approval is not a guarantee for sure. You know what I'm saying?
oh yeah, is one the one you got business and now this one personal or
Yeah,
vice
yeah. No, no, yeah. The one I got is a business. It's a business ink card. But now they want me to.
versa?
They saying that I'm pre-approved for the Premier and the Unlimited.
Look at those cards, look at those promotions. I mean, if they said you're pre-approved, sorry, but you never know the amount. But if they gave you a 5K, you already know how lenders are. They do favorable lending. So if they see a
Mm-hmm.
5K, they might only just give you another 5K, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
and so I understand what you're saying about the like, do I
And
want to pull all that, put new debt on there, go in the garden for just $5,000, right?
right, right, right.
Um,
And the promotions are weird too. They're like, oh, if you can, get like if you could spend like six G's to 10 G's within like 6 months or whatever, we'll give you this many points or whatever like that. So I'm saying like if you're talking about in a sense of not comparable lending, but like in another sense, if they are talking about me spending 6 to 10 G's, then I would hope you giving me more than that. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that I could spend on that.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of them things you just really kind of like. I mean, you really don't know. Maybe you can hit up Shantae in your chat. I know obviously we didn't move forward with that process, but maybe you can hit her up and get her to shed a little bit of light of like what she thinks and like if her
Mm-hmm.
back office can check something, but you never
Mm-hmm.
know. I mean, it don't hurt to ask, right? Closed mouths don't get fed. So
Honestly, yeah.
it's something to ask on, man, for real.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, because I know it's not as like easy as talking to a bank rep. Like I need somebody close to the underwriter and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. For
all
sure, bro.
right.
Well, shit, I mean, like I said, good questions, and I hope I was able to shed the clarity you needed on all the situations.
Yeah, it's just telling me I'm shortfall and I need connect.
Hey, look, look, you already know the plays, bro.
Yeah.
We gonna get you right though. You know what I mean?
No, I hear you. I hear you, man. I appreciate it for real.
Yes, sir. Robert, you asked one. Dom's first one. I'm gonna go to Dominic, and I'm gonna hit you, Robert. Go ahead, Dom.
All right, sweet, cool. So I kind of got a little bit of sauce for smoking fees on Turo, and then I have a question for you, Trevor, that
Mhm.
kind of ties to all of it. So Turo needs evidence in order for you to hit them with a smoking violation. It's
Mhm.
$150 violation. This does not include weed though. You guys need physical evidence in order to get that charge put on. But if they're smoking in your fucking car, you guys need to get that 150 from them. So what I do personally may not be that ethical, but I tell them don't smoke in my car. So if you guys are smoking in my car, you're gonna get the 150. I just buy the cheapest pack of cigarettes possible. I light it up like halfway, throw some ashes on the floorboards or whatever, throw the half lit cigar and take photos. Right? Cool. That's the 150. But my question to you, Trevor, is how do you get the weed smell out of the car? Because I felt really bad. I had a private client for my Mercedes going out today, and it fucking reeked of weed, and I couldn't rid of it because of the previous guest.
All right, so I'm gonna give you some more. I'm gonna add some more sauce to yours, right? Because I have done that method, and hopefully Turo is super good, super dope about. I've done even what you said, and it was still denied. But
Damn. Okay.
here's some more sauce to add to that, right? Your next guest that books your car, I'm gonna tell you how to win that one first. But your next guest that books your car, you tell them, hey, in a chat on Turo, right? Say, hey, I'm sorry about the smoke smell in the car. It was my last guess. Is it okay, or do I need to get you another vehicle? They're going to answer saying that conversation and then just be like, does it still smell like smoke? They're going to answer that, boom, boom, boom. That is the proof that you show Turo for the last guest that smoked in your shit. So it's not only you reporting the smoking violation, your next guest, the future guest that had the car right after them, is also throwing them under the bus. So you'll get them that way. Another way you get them, and that's if this part don't work. If this part don't work, this is what I always do. I hit them in a text message off of the Turo platform, and I say, hey, did be like the cleaners, right? The cleaning crew. You make it look like it's coming from Turo, right? So you say, hey, our partners at Turo, our cleaning crew partners with Turo have reported smoking smell in the vehicle. Did you smoke in the car? You text them on a personal text. If they lie, they lie. But usually 9 times out of 10, they're gonna say yes. Then be like, hey, if you look in the rules and guidelines, we don't allow smoking. But in order to help you out and stop you from being banned from ever renting again on Turo and getting fined, you beef it up and getting fined. I'll just send you a request for $100 instead of the 150 Turo would charge you plus the fines. Does that sound cool? I'll send you a Cash App right now. Have them pay you off the platform with Cash App. Every time I've done that, they're so worried about getting banned from Turo because they frequently rent. So they're worried about getting banned from Turo. They're worried about a fine from Turo. Then the way I worded it, I said our partners at Turo have reported a smoking smell in the vehicle, they think that Turo's coming for them. So they pay me every single time. And my homie used to detail cars. He detoxes them. He did all that shit for like $50. So I made $50 every time. But at the time I was doing it, it wasn't a 150 violation. It was a 250 violation. So I was sending like $200. They would send me like $200. I'd give my people, $75 and I would take, the 125, right? So, but you have to do that off the Turo platform. That's how you win the smoking violations. And that's how I've been the most successful doing so. And for the weed smell to get it out, just go down to your smoke shop, bro, and grab one of them sprays. The weeds, you don't need a detox bomb or none of that. You go to every one of the smoke stores and grab they have a smoke spray, like just like a fragrance spray, right? And get that and spray it all in your car. The smoke spray, they work really well. Like it's going to mask it pretty damn well. They're going to smell that before they smell the weed smell. I used to be a heavy, like before I really started locking in and focusing on this business and like making sure, I used to smoke every day. So I have experience with that shit. I smoked every single day, right? It was just, it should chill. I mean, I'm PTSD from the military and things like that. So, I mean, it was really a common, you know what I mean? It calmed me down. It kind of helped me focus a little more. So, but I've been able to not even mess with that. If someone lights one, I might hit it every now and then, but other than that, no. So I know it works because I do it. I've done it.
I appreciate that.
Yes, sir, Dom. Go ahead, Robert.
Yes, I don't know if you've run into this problem before, but or can I secure financing and for the cars and just business financing from the UK while I'm still overseas, or am I going to have to be on US soil?
Now you can do it all from obviously they can't ship they're not going
Well,
to
yeah,
ship.
I also want to like delay the shipment till I'm there too, if I
Yeah,
can.
yeah. You can do all that overseas. You can. Our lending team will get you funding overseas. They probably wouldn't be able to. Well, actually, they could probably ship you the cards. You'd be able to get your credit, all your capital. They can ship your credit cards to you there, just like anything else. And then the vehicles could be on the back burner of like, hey, we're signed for them and everything. But let's not ship them until I get there. I just don't. You're gonna have to talk to Jeremy about how the payments would work. Like, obviously, you'd want to get it on, start to get everything going, but you don't want to pay for it if you're not here making money off of it. So I'm pretty sure he has a way to make sure that you do get those cars and they are shipped to you when you hit U.S. soil, without you having to start your payments. You know what I mean?
If that's the case, then I could probably be ready to set everything up next week.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. Like I said, obviously wait until you get that green light from Shantae and Nico and them that you're ready for funding. If they've already given it to you, obviously we'll do it. But once you get that and get that capital, then I mean you're good to go ahead and do it. Unless you're proactive, you can get the cars in the business LLC, call, get the inquiries wiped, and get funded simultaneously. A lot of people do it that way. I don't want anybody to think they ever have to wait on the funding. Like as long as you go, hey, I'm about to go get cars, and you run the hard inquiry wipe play in there, and you wipe your own inquiries because our process is obviously we got a system, 30 days, 30 days. You know what I mean?
What was I just gonna say? Oh, I lost my thought.
No, you're solid. You're solid. It'll come back. Cars, we were talking about shipping, U.S. soil. We're talking about holding off, starting next week.
Oh yeah, so yeah, the only thing I'm waiting on is my I paid off my credit cards, but the statement date for my other credit cards is Friday. So it's not, yeah, I'm waiting for that to hit my credit at zero. So
Yeah, once that hits your credit, and that utilization goes down, you're gonna get the green light, right? And you can also be checking too. When you see it on Experian, obviously she's gonna see it on Identity IQ. We're not gonna. That's how you would be proactive without waiting for us to tell you. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Uh, Zamar, go ahead, bro.
What's going on, Trevor?
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great, bro. I'm doing great. All right, so I got a quick question. Do you guys like when y'all optimize our credit profiles, do y'all like include trade lines in y'all packages, or is that something that's gonna be the responsibility of us when it comes to like basically getting that profile built to y'all liking because I to my understanding, I got my profile kind of almost to where it needs to be. I got the Navy players along cooking. I got, the trade lines, all of that. But so do y'all guys like add anything extra to it to like spice it up, or how does that work?
We actually if whenever you do like obviously the done for you side of things, we actually do add trade lines, but it depends on what package you get. We got a package that adds, I think, one heavy trade line like a 7 year 50,000, and then we got another package that so we got an elite and a premium package. The premium you get three trade lines, three heavy hitters like 50K, 30K, 20K. You get like 90,000 on your profile. On this one over here, you get like 50,000. So in the packages, there's one that has one trade line and one that has three trade lines.
Okay, say less. So I can tap in with you like on a personal tip and see what's up. We can make working something out to so I can get into the mentorship.
Yeah, 100%, bro. Like I said, all you have to do is write me on Skool. Yeah, and you can say, hey, this is Zamar. Is Trevor around? I need to speak to him. Say that because I obviously have staff that runs that and talks to people and stuff too. But that's how you'll be able to get me. I'll tell you, yo, this is me. You know what I mean?
Okay, for sure. Yeah, I need to tap in with you, bro, because I'm definitely like right there at where I need to be. I just might need your team to go, you and your team look at everything. Tell me what else I need to do on my end. But I feel like pretty much I'm right there where I need to be, so we can go ahead, so I can jump into the Turo game. So I'm definitely trying to get the fleet of cars. I've been following you, seeing what's going on. I did what's going on, so yeah, I'm gonna tap in with you for sure, bro.
100%, Zamar. Like you already, you've been here, you got the materials and stuff like that. I definitely, the mentees, the people that, and obviously you've already put some skin in the game, right? But the people who get that done for you they're just gonna have quicker results. They're gonna have better results because it falls on us. And if my team fails, if my staff fails you, then I'm held accountable. So I get on their ass and I step in and do it. That's the difference, right? But they're my staff for a reason. These are my partners. These are my friends. These are my employees, and they do what they're supposed to do, and we're pretty on it.
I'm already knowing. I'm already knowing. Yeah. So and then like I said, I already got the LLC and everything. So everything pretty much ready right now. So we just got to see what else I got to do. Oh, I just did a little dispute with the check system. I had like one little thing with my check system. Would that hinder me from anything?
Check systems is a little bit different. I don't think it's going to hinder you, right? Because we do have processes that can handle that and get that off. I would have to, whenever you're going to have to shed some more light on that within the DMs. I'll send it to my credit guy, and I'll make sure that like that's something that he can handle. But check systems, I don't think it would be now.
Okay, say less. Yeah, but I'm pretty much I'm disputing it on my own, see if I can get some handle with it. But if not, we'll handle that later on down the road. We'll come to it. So
Yes,
yeah, I
sir.
was just wondering about that. All right.
100%, Zamar. I appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you showing up to the live.
No problem, bro.
Yes, sir. Bo, I see you got a question in the chat. Go ahead, Bo. You're muted still.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, I hear you.
What's up, Trevor? Thank you.
What's going on, bro?
Quick question, and it's probably go back a couple of years for you. Starting off when you did the Turo, how did you do bookkeeping and what did you use? Or who did it for you? Or did you pay somebody or what?
So the first year I did Turo, right? I didn't write a lot of stuff off. Like you guys got to understand taxes. You got to play the taxes and play the IRS game on what's going to benefit you for what you're wanting to do in life. So what that means, like shedding light on that, right? What that means is like the first year I did Turo, I wanted to show the government, I wanted to show the IRS that I was making a lot of money because I had plans to continue to grow and scale the business. So when it comes to bookkeeping, Turo gives you a 1099 within the platform. So I would file that with my taxes along with all my other businesses. And that year, I didn't write a lot of stuff off because I knew I wanted to grow and scale more. And you already know if you write a whole bunch of stuff off to the IRS, they're going to put you in that tax bracket to where you can't go buy a lot of things. Like, if you look like you don't make a lot of money. So I leverage, when it comes to the IRS and filing taxes, I leverage it in what I'm trying to do business. Now, last year, I actually wrote a lot of shit off because I was like, man, I'm about to move. I'm about to let these properties go up for rent and things like that. I actually want to put some money in my pocket. So last year, I wrote a lot of my vehicles off. What I did is I just wrote off the taxes on about 10 of my vehicles, and just Louisiana tax registration, just that part. This doesn't include the gas, the mileage, the depreciation, nothing. Just in taxes on 10 cars, it was like 68 grand. So I was able to write that off to leverage owing the IRS the year before. So that 20,000 that I owed the IRS, I had got almost most of that back just by writing shit off, and I was able to handle the IRS, put them on a low monthly payment, and run that play. But obviously, I'm not scaling no more. I'm not worried about assets and that type of stuff no more. So I played it to my advantage. And you guys got to know that about the IRS. Everybody's scared of the IRS and scared of that type of situation. You in control. You show them you got 2 years to file. Sometimes you don't have to file anything, right? But I mean, you do have 2 years to file, and if you leverage the IRS on what's beneficial to you and you do the right thing, you can't get in trouble. At the end of the day, you can owe the IRS $100,000. Guess what they're gonna? You could tell them, hey, all I can do is $200 a month. They're gonna put you on $200 a month for 50 years or whatever it is, and fuck it. If they get it, they get it. If not, they're not. Who gives a shit? They're the IRS. They're the biggest gangster in the world. So I'm gonna pay you on a monthly. I can make $200 in 30 days. So I'm gonna put you on that monthly fee, and then I'm gonna just keep getting my money, right? So I really didn't have a bookkeeper or a CPA. What I really did was just I just used my 1099s, and I did it the legit way. I didn't have to, and I ran everything from a bank account, so that next year when I did write off, all my maintenance, my Valvoline, and all that stuff came from. I said, if it's an expense from this account, it's a write-off. It's a Turo related thing. Does that answer your question?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, Bo. Appreciate that. Appreciate that question too.
No problem.
Who next? Who got one? Cardi, go ahead, brother.
All right. This might be a little too deep of a question, but we'll see. I'm trying it anyway. All right. So you know how like bureaus pull your information somehow in the back works of things. And I've heard bell words like, LexisNexis and all that stuff. Are you familiar with that stuff?
I mean, I'm not. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Okay. It's fine then. So like maybe it's not the right platform to talk about this then.
I might have a tad bit of knowledge on that. You could ask your question because that's just third-party credit bureaus, right?
Right. So like these bureaus or these third party companies, they're constantly pinging your information, constantly pinging your information. And I've heard, in some of these forums and stuff like that, that you could actually call these companies directly and tell them to put a freeze on your data being pulled. And it actually could be a better leverage for you to go to the bureaus and get stuff wiped off.
So typically, yes, you don't even need to call them. You can do it all through their websites. There's probably three solid big ones that are secondary bureaus that you can use.
LexisNexis,
You don't need to call them. You could just do it through their website. It
Mhm.
does technically it does give you a greater chance, but it's really only important if you're going through like collections or higher, like bankruptcies, collections, charge-offs, that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's gonna help. But if you're just trying to remove an inquiry, it's kind of like
Needless.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's all I wanted. That's all I wanted to know. Like, here's the thing too. If I wanted to help somebody else out myself, like, yeah, I'm dealing with just inquiries here and there that I caused by myself and I take them off. But if I wanted to help somebody myself, you know what I mean, and they had like collections or a repo or something, maybe would that route help me help them better?
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's an extra precautionary thing to take, so it's going to
Mhm.
give you a better chance. But
Mhm.
then it's just like, is it worth the time of freezing all those bureaus over a hard inquiry? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
no,
if it's a
no.
bankruptcy, of course, you want every percent of chance that you could get.
It sounds like you've done this before.
No.
Hey, look, Dom's a knowledge seeker. He's real. He's good. He's going to be obviously great at anything he does with the amount of knowledge that he has, and he set back doors a lot of questions, and he'll answer questions in the community too. Might need to partner up, Dom. You never know, brother. Like,
Hey man, I'm with Don, man. I always looking up for knowledge too. So it's just like I appreciate that you linked up with me on the mindset that I was looking for and the answer that I was kind of looking for. You feel me? So appreciate it, Don.
Yeah, no, for sure.
you guys give we got Mr. Jeremiah Leonard in the building. He is on the call. This is our content creator. He is the one that is going to show you everything about content, making your content become cash flow, how to build an online brand and presence and get your stuff out there. Jeremiah is an affiliate. It's not mandatory for them guys to come on these calls and hop on these Q&As, but he is showing face. So if you guys don't know who he is, that's Yuri, and he is content creation. You click that part in the classroom, that's your guy. So Yuri, I don't know, we're almost, this call's actually almost over. I don't know if you want to preach to him anything, tell him anything, introduce yourself for the people that come on this live call, but man, you got the floor. This is your guy. He took my brand to where it's at just because of what he does behind that camera.
So pretty much, I linked with Trevor probably like 2 years ago. I think about 2 years ago, right, Trevor?
Mm-hmm.
But from that day on, first time we linked, we started building his brand. Everything that branding is just how you guys are here, just to be honest with you, is based off of his brand. Not to be sugarcoating, but all I do is help personal brands and business brands take their content to the next level so they can attract the people into the communities or attract the clients they want. It's not something that you can do overnight, but it does take time if you're trying to package a message or package what you do as a service or product and take it to the next level. I've been working with Trevor for, like I said, a long time, but now he's at the point where he is like moving and shaking. He has the credibility, obviously, when it comes to what he does for Turo and then for you guys and everything. But if he didn't have a personal brand, y'all probably wouldn't trust him. I'm gonna be honest. So it's
100%.
like that's what personal branding is all about. It's just creating that atmosphere in the digital realm to help you get to that next level with trust with a client, and then also taking them to that journey to eventually do what trust, and then they can actually buy something from you, whether it be product or service. So yeah, if you guys need that help, just DM me. I'm here in the Skool community. Just DM me. I'm gonna definitely be hopping on more. I just wanted to pop up on this one, but I'm definitely gonna be on here more. And you can check out any videos that might help you just to get started. And I do offer one-on-ones. If you want, if I have high ticket offers, but then I also have one-on-ones where I can work with you personally to help you start with just your phone. You don't need the high quality cameras, but if you're just trying to start with your phone, I can help you get to that next level too. So yeah.
Yeah, guys. He's great at what he does. Obviously, like he said, you guys know me and see me because of him. Is a connection that is obviously it's been life changing for myself. I'm probably for him as well with the rooms that we've been able to be in together with each other. So when you guys have a business, you have to understand that people have to know your business. They have to see your business. They have to know who you are and what you do. And he is the guy for that. And if he can't come to you and shoot you up and help you get that brand and that business out there, like he said, he can teach you how to do it all with your phone. You don't always have to have him fly out or things like that, but he is the guy. And he knows social media. He knows this. He is in the Skool community. Content to cash flow is his section. He'll be adding more value in there, more videos and tips and tricks in there. And if you want to move forward with him, like he said, DM him. He'll drop sauce. He'll drop questions that and you guys can get turned up.
One word of advice that you've got. Please do.
Wimpy, you was talking to us? Oh no, my bad. She's talking to me. All right. Yeah. So look, everybody, it's been our hour. We're at our crunch. I like to stay on here and keep giving you guys game and value and answering questions. But we do have family in town, mother-in-laws in town. We're gonna go play a little mini golf and with the kids and stuff. So look, guys. Like I tell you every time, I appreciate you showing up to the call. Action takers are these. You are the ones who are action takers, right? A lot of you guys are mentees. A lot of you guys aren't. I understand work. I understand life and things like that. But I appreciate each and every one of you for showing up to this call. Don't hesitate to ask me a question in your personal Discord channel if you're a mentee, right? Don't hesitate to ask a question to the community. There's a question section. Drop it. If you got a question for me, if you got a question for Mr. Jeremiah, if you got a question for anybody on our team, tag them, ask the questions. We want to help you guys. It's not always about trying to, close the deal and make money from it. We want you guys to win. So Many blessings to everybody. I appreciate each and every one of you, and let's go hustle, man. I hope you have a blessed evening and a blessed rest of the week. See you guys on the credit call tomorrow, Thursday. Credit call. Kane's coming to drop some game. Let's do it. All right, y'all.